Doodly doo, I don't know what chapter we're on. So I just clicked on 5 because beautiful. Wait, no, because there was like another freaking AU. I'm sorry. Alright, let's just do this. After Tom's point of view, after sitting next to Tord in the cafeteria, I realized how tall he was. He was around 6'2", not like a foot taller or anything, but definitely taller than I. Are you sure about that? There were so many soldiers around, even more than I thought. I wonder where he got all those people. They seemed to enjoy it here. So obviously weren't forced here against their will like I was. All these commie fuckers sitting around me. I think I've read this. I think I have. How can so many people constantly tolerate a caramel brown-haired devil? The one that was sitting next to my right now. Yes. Next to me right now. Just great. I was having lunch with the enemy. This isn't exactly what I'd think of as a nice lunch. But again, it's better than being stuck in the house. People kept asking Tord questions. I assumed he doesn't exit his office much. Or maybe he does, to mess up people's lives or something. While my hand was resting on my lap, ignoring the questions Kami was getting, I felt something grasp it. It was Tord, of course. What is he doing? Is this supposed to make me more comfortable here? If so, it's doing the exact opposite of that. Either way, hush your tits! I'm sorry. Josh must be home. Either way, sorry about that. The dog's kind of freaked out over the mail lady. Alright, let's just do this. Either way, it caught me by surprise, and I turned back into the conversation. People were asking things about me, surprisingly. I'm right here. They know that, right? I wonder why everyone's staring at my face. Is it the eyes? Nah. You alright? Tord queried. Queried? I don't know. Yeah, why? Your face is bright red. Shit! Eat! Shit. I don't even like him. It's just the sheer embarrassment of being here and him touching me. Quick, think of an excuse. I guess I'm a bit hot. Fuck, that was Tord. Crap, I guess I'm a bit hot. Yeah, that was obviously a lie. Tord and a few others caught on, but he just turned to the soldiers. I'll have to take him back to the house. He's probably overwhelmed here. Vicis. I gotta know what that means. I have to know. How do I... Ooh, I don't know how to do this. I'm sorry, okay. I'm sorry, I probably offended everybody here. He says, picking me up bridal style and walking me away. He said he had to take me home as if I was some kind of pet. Just because I was kidnapped and that I'm held here against my will doesn't mean I should be referred to as some kind of other species. Ugh, how dare he? I'm sorry. Just making sure I'm recording. When we got back home, Tord led me into a different room than the one I slept. Than the one I slept in the other night. I was pretty sure it belonged to him. Since the bed you slept in last night wasn't comfortable, you'll be sleeping in my room last night. I assume you won't need dinner because if that late lunch. What? I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me I'm horrible at reading, just so y'all know. Because of that late lunch. So you'll be going to bed soon. He just told me to go to bed soon. What is this? 3rd grade? Ugh! How dare he? I don't need Tord to give me a bedtime. I regret saying I was hot earlier. The fucker told me to hang up the trench coat to cool me down, but I was actually pretty cold. Never mind the pretty cold. It was effing freezing! Is there a shower around here? I haven't had a bath in 2 days. I desperately needed a warm shower. Ah, yes, follow me. Tord began to guide me down the hall into a room. He flickered on the lights and revealed a shower, a toilet, and a sink. It was basically just a small bathroom, one that looked like it would fit well in a small apartment or hotel. There were a few towels, not too large, but not good enough to dry off. Thanks. I'll be in the shower. I said, slightly uncomfortable about using my enemy's shower. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I spit all over my phone. I closed the door once he left the room and turned on the shower. Anytime I roll an S, I end up like spitting on my phone. Man, I hate it when I do that. Letting it get warm and fill the room with steam. Yeah, it's supposed to be fill, but it says full. I got into the shower and Steve, I can't get over that he calls his hair Steve. Flopped back. It got in my face a bit, but when I pulled away, I noticed a camera. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I shrieked, pulling out a shower curtain around me. Damn, Kami. I knew there would be some sort of twist, even to something as simple as showering. I couldn't even use soap, but I guess rinsing off was good enough. After wringing out Steve once, he flopped right back up. So reliable. I pulled everything back on and stormed out. Tord, what are you doing? He turned to me, looking away from his security monitors. Nothing. There was a camera in the shower. I'm pretty sure that's not nothing. I was pissed. I could feel heat coming off my face. Well, I was making sure you were fine in there. He made an awkward sound before starting his explanation. I'm not believing that. He was obviously lying about keeping an eye on me. If anything, he was probably making sure I didn't escape. Well, it's late anyway. You should be getting to bed anyways. Anyways. I lost my voice. I could tell he was avoiding the conversation and changing the topic. Fine, I said begrudgingly. Sorry. Oh my god, why is my nose suddenly stuffy? This happens every time I read. I'm dying. I slid into his bed. It was warm, I'll admit that. The mattress was actually tolerable as well. The thing I didn't like was when he got in bed with me, wrapping his arm around me. He was only in boxers and a t-shirt, so it felt really awkward that I was still in my hoodie. Dear Jehovah. He sure mumbled a lot, like more than normal. He talked and stuttered in his sleep, which made it hard for me to get sobs shut-eye. What? I finally drifted off to sleep when he quieted down. My body relaxed into his arms again. Oh, again, I can't deny it was comfy, but it doesn't mean I liked it. Are you sure about that? Sleep is exactly what I need right now anyways. So after a long day, I don't care whose arms I'm in. Oh, I did not realize that's a one shot. No. Maybe. Chapter 6. Tord's point of view. Let me just sit up, because holy crap, I'm killing my arms. I was surprised Thomas didn't squirm when I wrapped my arms around him. His body was warm against mine. I never had anyone else in my bed before this. Soon after drifting off to sleep, I was awoken by Tom shifting. He went to wiggle his way from me, but I pulled him tighter. Maybe if I kept myself close to him, he'd stay here without me having to force him against his will. He kept struggling until he realized it was me holding him. At that moment, he just kind of froze. He didn't seem to freeze out of respect or comfort, however. He seemed to freeze out of fear. Just because I just slammed him against the wall and knocked him out yesterday didn't mean I would do it again. After he stopped squirming, I whispered, "It's only 5 a.m. We have another hour to sleep." And with that, I kissed his forehead, slightly ruffling his hair. I ran my fingers through it. "Not Steve! He sexually harassed Steve!" He seemed incredibly uncomfortable, which wasn't exactly what I was going for. I wanted to make him more at home and occasionally do things. Ahem! But that's all completely besides the point. Are you sure about that? I let go of him now, and he rolled over to look at me. His face was bright red, both with anger and embarrassment. Again! Again! What's with the kissing shit? He was almost yelling, but it was quieter than usual due to it being around 5 a.m. at this time. Just trying to make you more at home. I cooed. Hopefully he was fine with that tone of voice. Just like that, his hand went forcefully. Oh, shit! I was trying to keep my calm at that moment, but I was gonna lose it if he tried something like that again. "I've been kidnapped and forced to live and sleep with my worst enemy. Yeah, that sounds like I'd be more at home in less than 3 days. He was no longer whisper screaming. The soldiers in their homes could probably hear him from in here. Not only was he pissed, it looked like he was about to break down in tears. Yeah, I have no idea what to do in this situation. Tom's point of view. Why did my computer turn off? Oh, it didn't turn off. My TV just turned off. Okay. Shit. I think Tor noticed I was on the brink of tears. Reminding myself of my situation didn't make it any better, but I wasn't going to show vulnerability in front of him. I prevented my tears from falling and just tried showing aggravated. I'm so stupid. Showing how aggravated I was. "You alright, Jehovah's Witness?" Tord was asking me. He sounded almost like he was actually concerned about my well-being for a second. Yeah, right. That's obviously not what he's doing. I bet this whole thing is just to manipulate me to join his fucked up army. The kisses and all. What else would it be? I surprised myself when I sort of let a single tear drop. I thought I was better than that. Well, I guess without alcohol, I'm just kind of a... Wait a second. I remembered having my flask in my hoodie. I reached into the pocket for it, but it wasn't there. I let out a slight aggravated groan, to which I turned away from Tord and went back to bed. I don't need alcohol anyways. Who am I kidding? I definitely need it to keep my emotions in line. I don't want to... This part is like, I don't care about this part. But I have to because it's part of the story. I was investigating the case of Thomas, the missing gentleman from London. His friends seemed to be quite the interesting people. I wonder if he's anything like them. If so, I think I'm giving up on this case. Anywho, I was there when we found that secret army base. Something tells me he might be there. He might be in there, considering no one has seen him anywhere on the whole continent. Really? That base is the last place to look. However, it's full of soldiers, and walking into it is like walking into a minefield wearing a blindfold. The odds of living were slim, although I got away with only a bullet grazing the top of my left shoulder. The way the man crushed the skull of a fellow officer with just his boot, it sent chills down my spine, even though I have gotten used to the violent things happening on scene. I was interviewed about what I saw and such. My description wasn't too vivid because I was running most of the time. I shot at one guy with... No! Patrick! I shot at one guy with chicken wing hair, though. If that counts as anything. Patrick! Ah! I'm sorry. The whereabouts of Thomas have been found. There is no way to retrieve him, however, and we have no idea how he's out there in the woods why he's out there in the woods somewhere in that hidden army base. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, another authors, no authors. Oh God, it's a gang at you. I gotta read that at some point. Let me just hold on. I gotta save this. I have to save this. I gotta save that. I love gang AUs for y'all who don't know. It's pretty interesting. It's Tord's point of view. It's pretty obvious how I'm not trying to make him at home. Soldiers have been picking up on the weird behavior and screams from my home. I have an important meaning I'll have to leave my poor Thomas alone. I feel like oh my God, my hair. I'm going to stab my hair, if that's even possible. I feel like he overreacted with the whole kidnapping thing. At least I'm giving him food and shelter fit for, well, a casual person. I let out a small growl of aggression, still upset about how Jehovah's Witness slapped me hard enough to leave a mark. Right when I had an important meeting with one of the armies we are in alliance with. They better not notice. It'll make them think of me as someone who lets themselves get slapped and doesn't fight back. I need to form alliances with neighboring armies so they'll trust us, be more vulnerable to attack, and be able to offer trade for good weaponry. Thomas, as much as I love him, is getting on my nerves. More than usual. Then there was a silence in the room. I glanced over to him, and he was digging his hands in his pockets, looking around the room. Looking for something? I questioned, guessing that he was looking for a certain something I took out of his pockets. He responded with a glare at first, responding to the smirk I was trying to keep from forming on my face. You know what I'm looking for, don't you? He asked. Oh, come on, he responded to my question with a question. I don't have time for this. Yes, but I don't have time to answer. Yes, but I don't have time to be answering your questions, especially if you don't answer mine. Why do you seem so rushed anyways? I have a meeting. And you're going to leave me here? Nothing else I can do. Fine. Can you at least give me my flask before you go? Sure, I replied, passing him his flask, which he opened. He was instantly pissed. This is empty, he growled. I know, you never asked for anything in the flask. Tord, you badass. Well, okay, I'm like... Oh, there's more. There's freaking more! Okay. Tom let out a sigh and ignored my comeback, which was better than anything he could do. With that, I left him sitting there to his own devices, and of course the doors and windows were locked with fingerprint scanning technology so he wouldn't be able to escape. Even I'm not crazy enough to leave him alone with a way to escape. I know if he would. I know he could if he would. I know if he could, he would. Oh, but I'm hoping that'll change. Tom's point of view. I sat there staring at the empty flask. That son of a bitch, leaving me with nothing to drink. Thinking of my situation isn't getting me anywhere, but neither are the locks on everything. There's even a lock on the toilet. I'm sorry. Because he definitely can fit down the pipes. I'm left there to think of possible ways of escaping that'll always fail. I bet he's doing all this on purpose. More of a task. I'm sorry, I just died. Tactics. More of his tactics. He isn't actually in love with me. He isn't trying to help me in any way. He's just trying to manipulate me. I know it. Tord wouldn't do something like that anyway. I blew up his giant robot and pissed him off for as long as I could remember. What do I care? Anyways, I could care less about what he actually likes. Can't I? Oh, please. Why am I even considering caring about that commie? The one who got me stuck in this situation in the first place. It's just that I've been feeling a tightness and fluttery feeling in my chest around him lately. Bum, bum. I'm sorry. I think I'm getting a cold or something. He'll have to take me to the infirmary. From there, I'll plan my escape. I walk into the bathroom, sticking a thermometer in my mouth to test my temp. No sign of fever or a cold. I didn't feel stuffy or anything. Damn it, there goes my excuse. Then the thought hit me. If it's not a cold or anything, then what's the recent feeling in my abdominal area? Bum, bum. Okay. Tord must have done something while I was passed out. Or maybe it's the stuff he used to make me pass out. Yeah, You know what? Fuck him. I just spent an hour thinking to myself. I guess the last thing to do is read the stuff he has around or turn on the television. Then I'll sleep until he's back, I guess. I don't know anymore. Well, okay, that was 3 chapters in 1 reading. How long was that? Wow. Only 25 minutes? I guess we could read another chapter. Chapter 8. So that's like, 4 chapters now? Okay. Meanwhile, the police are gathered and ready to take down Tord's base. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. Tord's base. Tord's point of view. Okay. I didn't actually have a meeting. No harm done when I lied for a good cause, right? I just needed to work on something. That's all. Something important for the well-being of my Tommy and I. I walked to a small lab at the edge of the base and entered to find a mess. Who the hell was using this last? There are cream sodas and Budweiser cans everywhere. We all know who that was. Oh, okay, never mind. I swept everything off the work desk and took a few liquid ingredients, as well as a few solids as well. This is much more humane than a shock collar. This isn't... I don't know. Besides, he would never be able to place something for simple-minded dogs around Thomas's neck. I have been rambling to myself way too much. I just have to work with what I got. It'll need to be thin enough to enter and exit with a syringe. with ease. So water is going to be needed as well. I'll just get that later, though. I can't leave this for weirdos to mess with while I'm away. Tom's point of view. Oh my god, my arm. Watch this, I'm just gonna... Alright. Ugh, it's so boring in Tord's place. I'm not saying I wish he was back right now, but it's lonely. All the books are Norwegian except for a locked one that looks like the Commie's Diary or some shit. Bumpa! I rummaged through the closets and drawers, but nothing entertaining in there either. I guess the TV and radio is all I have. The TV would keep me enough company, I guess. I turned it on straight to the news channel where police were... Oh, shit. Where police were forming a full-scale attack on the Red Army. They had soldiers at their sides and helicopters with professional pilots ready to shoot him up. Oh, God. I wouldn't miss Tord if he died, but my life is on the line here, too. You selfish little me! Okay. Well, now we know Thomas is selfish. He's a selfish potato. Or Irish? Wait, hold on, wait. Fuck. I rushed around trying to find an escape even though he left me with none. I tugged and pushed at every door, every window until I heard oh shit, they were already here. Gunshots outside, they were already here. I looked outside the window expecting to see Tord's men strewn across the ground, but I was surprised to see they were actually winning. Damn, the police barely stood a chance with this army's technology. How the hell does one development stuff better than the U.S. Army and UK militaries combined? That's impossible! Wait. I'm sorry. Of course, people on the communist side did die as well. If I had gotten here today, I would thought the grass and dirt was naturally stained red, like rusty Mars dust or some shit. I turned to look at a car parked, and there were two people in the back hiding behind the chairs. The safety of those seats were most likely the only thing keeping them alive. But these people weren't in police uniforms or army equipment. They were in bright red clothes. Ed and Matt? Holy shit! What? That was quicker than I expected. At that moment, I did something I never thought I would. I smashed the fingerprint scanner into itty-bitty pieces to escape. How did I not do that before? It would be too risky to run out in the open with two sides at war, gunshots firing across the space between them. And I figured if I went around the back of the police car, I would be noticed. I slid the door open and bolted for the car, getting there with just a hole through my hoodie. I banged on the glass calling for the occupants. They looked so happy to see me, and I'll admit I was happy to see them too. But of course, Tord ruins everything. I felt a sharp pain in my neck. Not the usual place he'd stick a syringe, but I physically can't complain. My vision got really blurry, and I started heaving on the ground. I felt like I was going to throw up, but I hadn't even eaten that much today. That just meant seemingly endless gagging for me. I sat there until a burning sensation rose in my throat, and the acid from my stomach left my being. I heard faint screams of Ed and Matt screaming at Tord, trying to open the police car door and stop whatever was happening. And stop whatever was happening. Get up. Tord spoke coldly, ignoring his past friends that were begging for him to give this up from inside the car. I tried speaking, but only managed a few sounds. My throat still stung, and I didn't know what I would say anyways. There was no way I could respond to this hellish situation. But I did. I stood up like he told me. Another sharp pain shot through my head. It was a serious migraine. But Jesus Christ, it hurt. For some reason, Tord was smiling. Is my pain that amusing to him? Now heal. You have no business outside the house. Come. His words confused me. I'm my own person, yet I did as he said. What the hell? I'm confused. Everything blurry in my mind everything's blurry and my mind can't focus on anything. Tord ruffled my hair and brought his hand back to his side. After he reached out to mine, grabbing it. I pulled away, of course. I didn't want to hold hands with my enemy, the one drawing me away from my friends, everything I cared about. What I thought his intentions were seemed to be changing. This isn't how he would treat any other of his soldiers. At least, I don't think it is. As we entered the house, my eyes adjusted slightly and Tord gave me some water to get that burning out of my throat and put something back in my stomach. I chugged it instantly. I chugged it instantly. I don't care if it's possibly poisoned. I just needed the relief, the pain pulsing in my esophagus. Thanks, I muttered out. No problem. No hugs? That second bit made no sense, but he hugged me tightly as I threw my arms around him. This migraine isn't helping this. I know you did something, I said painfully. It took a lot of effort to even speak. Oh, do you? Well, lucky for you, this is temporary till I find a way to make it permanent. Just don't, I warn. Oh, but why put all that work to waste? He cooed. Hug, why did he have to sound so soothing in times like this? Hopefully it's just whatever he did messing with my head. You can't make me love you, Kami. I didn't expect myself to say that. By now I'm just assuming what he wants from me. But I already have. No, it's just something you did to make me do the shit. Tom, it wore off when you got to the house. You didn't have to hug me. He smirked, kissing my forehead. Fuck you, I mumbled, stuttering slightly. I love you too. Fine. I was whispering, trying to make sure he didn't hear me, but apparently he did because he was smiling like a dork. A slightly lovable communist dork. Pretend I never said that. Well, okay, guys, that's enough for this. Alright, y'all gotta remind me in the comments that I'm on chapter 8, because I swear I read through this. I read to 16. And yeah, I don't remember any of this because I'm stupid. And I wasn't really reading. Yeet! Okay, peace, peeps. I love you all.